I, Luke, take you, Molly, to be my wedded wife, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till we are separated by death. As God is my witness, I give you my promise. I, Molly, take you, Luke, to be my wedded husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till we are separated by death. As God is my witness. I'd like to talk for just a moment about what these rings are symbolic of. I'll use yours, so if I drop it, it's not quite. The rings are quite small, but they're quite valuable. Amen? And there's a couple reminders in that. The first is that what we value, we honor. And it's a reminder when you look at that ring, and you might put your other hand on it and rub that ring to continue to honor your marriage and to do things that put your marriage first. The temptation in the world and in your careers and everything you want to do is the marriage will be sacrificed. I'll sacrifice there first. Don't do that. Other things can be sacrificed. Keep honoring your marriage and know that if you're going to invest a little, don't expect much. If you want much, invest much, just like you did in these rings. Love costs a lot. It's not cheap. And so that ring reminds you of that. It's also circular fashion. It's hard to find a beginning or an end. And that reminds us of the unending nature that it's going to take in your love for one another, your commitment, your work ethic that you promised that you're going to work at this thing. It also reminds you of the trust that's needed, the unending trust, the unending compliments, and unending apologies that may be necessary throughout your marriage. And finally, it's made of precious and pure metals. And that signifies that the marriage is to be kept pure, that honesty is the number one thing that will keep a marriage pure that it needs to be. And so we are now going to exchange the rings, and Luke, I'll ask you to take all these rings. And if you place it on the wedding finger of her left hand, look in her eyes, and repeat this promise. With this ring I seal my promise to be your faithful and loving husband. As God is my witness. Take Luke's ring, place it on the wedding finger of his left hand, look in his eyes, and repeat this promise. With this ring, I promise to be a faithful and loving wife. As God is my witness. So they both said, that's a good sign. Okay. They say the knuckles swell when you get nervous. Is that it? Our second scripture reading today will be by Harry, 1 Corinthians chapter 13.